What inspires change? What motivates us? It's what's inside that moves us. What moves you? Get the Scion story at scion.com.
Although Governor Eddie Calvo still disagrees with setting aside $120 million for tax refunds versus the $113 he says is needed, the governor will likely sign the latest or seventh version of the 2014 budget bill into law.
On the budget, and first of all, I want to congratulate the Republican minority. They've always been there, level-headed, focusing on what this was all about. If there are no other complications, it is my intention to move forward in the passage of this bill. But we have to be very prudent, and we have to be very careful and ensure that what was said in the legislative session hall is in line with what was passed and what was transmitted over to my office.
The governor says the budget bill gives him 15% transfer authority and the immediate financial assistance needed for the Guam Memorial Hospital, which are two major reasons why he's inclined to sign the measure. Meanwhile, yesterday the governor signed 5 other bills that were recently passed into law. 4 of those bills were introduced by Speaker Judy Wonpat, and they utilize escheated funds, or the funds that went unclaimed for things like tax returns and eventually went back to the government. These include Bill 122, which appropriates $400,000 in escheated funds to the Guam Police Department for new vehicles. Bill 121, which appropriates $700,000 to DOA for new software. Bill 124, which appropriates $1.4 million to revenue tax for real property reevaluation. And Bill 63, which uses $7 million in taxes that are expected to be collected after real property is reevaluated for DOE.
These were some very good bills that were passed by the legislature, and of course with my signature. Many of these bills use escheated funds, and for very noteworthy purposes. We have a really important appropriation for reevaluation and reassessment of real property taxes, real properties in the island of Guam. So we feel that upon this reassessment, we're going to get about $7 million more into the territorial education facility funds.
The governor also signed Senator Roy Respiccio's bill that would fund the restoration of the old legislature, or the Guam Congress building.
And to restore the grandeur of what was the original Guam Congress legislature building. And this is all part of our plans for the revitalization of the capital city.
However, not all of the bills recently passed were signed into law. The governor vetoed Bill 174, which would have put a cap on how much could be spent on Gov Guam health insurance, in essence limiting it to the exclusive choice. The governor vetoed the bill because he says it was based on the false assumption that Gov Guam would save $18 million if the exclusive contract was selected.
From the very beginning, we saw Bill 174 for what it was. It was a political ploy by certain folks from within the legislature using assumptions that were inaccurate. And with that, we vetoed it.
For example, that the master concessionaire cannot offer